but to be black is a sign of triumph, a sign of resistance, and a sign that we will indeed get to what Dr. King referred to as the promised land. And so our theme today is proclaiming our freedom, paving the way for a better black America. Today, these young people commence a new path. And the question that we must ask for all of them and all of us in this room is, what is our mission? What is our duty today? After 4 long, arduous years of UC Berkeley, after 4 years of racism and segregation, after 4 years of mistreatment and being deemed as not acceptable, what now is our purpose? What now is our mission? So Frantz Fanon once wrote, each generation has a mission. Fulfill it or betray it in relative opacity. Each generation has a charge, has a mission, has something that they are destined to achieve. And so when we woke up this morning, all of us flipped on a light switch. And all of us put on some clothes, but none of us probably recognized that it was a black man by the name of Louis Latimer that made it possible for you to turn on your light.
Come on!
And we may not have recognized that it was because of our ancestors that picked cotton 400, 300, and 200 years ago that ensured that we could have clothes on our back and society being free. You can tell the mind of a man or a woman by the works that their hands produce. You know Louis Latimer existed because you can turn on the light switch today and know that somebody made the sacrifice to make it exist. But what is the sacrifice that our generation is charged with? What is the mission that we must find a way to achieve? When we look around, yes, we are a graduating class of the #1 public institution in the world, and that is something to be happy about. That is something to be congratulatory about. But we should also recognize that the time in which we live demands that we take a new approach, a new system, and a new innovative way of making change in our world. What time are we in? And what must that dictate that we do?
Go ahead, young man.
When we look around our society, we find that there are more black men in prison now than were enslaved in 1850.
That's right.
We look around our society, and we find that the highest rate of incarceration is among black women. And we find that Africa is in the same colonizer relationship that it was in 200 years ago. And we have to question, what must we do today? What must this generation do? And what charge will we be asked to fulfill? Our generation must find a way to connect those who have been considered the middle class, who have gained this access to social mobility, and how does this degree of personal gratitude, how does this degree of personal achievement translate and transform into freedom for the rest of our people?
That's right.
That is the question we must ask. What does a degree from UC Berkeley mean for the masses of black people who find themselves poor, suffering, and out of doors? What does this degree mean for the overwhelming number of our people who are suffering and are in need of assistance? This degree means that we are charged for paving the way for a better black diaspora. This degree means that we now have a responsibility, not only to ourselves, not only to our families, but now our responsibility evokes all the way to the entire black world, and we are being asked today to do something different, to do something better. But it is in this moment of immense difficulty, as in all moments of trial and tribulation, that we find the greatest potential for freedom. It was in the moments of slavery when Nat Turner sung "Steal Away." Steal away, for we ain't got much time to stay here. Steal away because freedom must come. Today we can no longer walk towards our freedom. We can't run towards our freedom. We can't jog towards our freedom. Today we must steal away towards our freedom. For at this time, like no other time, we have the potential to take what rightfully belongs to us. This time, like no other, we have the immense capacity to make an impact on our world. And we want to look 100 years from now, and we want them to say that was the graduating class of 2013.
Go ahead, Salih!
And so as I conclude, to borrow an analogy from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., although this time has immense trial and immense struggle, there is no other time that I would rather live in. If I could go back with the Almighty God and I can ask Him a brief survey of time, and I can choose any place to settle and to lay my rest, I would go on and I would see the first queen of Egypt, Queen Hatshepsut, but I would not stop there. I will go on down and see King Tut building the pyramids that still exist today, and I wouldn't stop there. If I can go to the time when the first slaves were put on that good ship called Jesus, I would not stop there and stop slavery. If I could go on down time and I could go and be with Nat Turner and Sojourner Truth, if I could be with Harriet Tubman paving the way for freedom in the 19th century, I would not stop there. If I could go on down to the time and I could stop the bullet that killed Malcolm X and Dr. King, I would not stop there. If I could go on to the time when Barack Obama was elected as the President of the United States, I would not stop there either. I would come on right on down to this time. For there is no moment like the present, and there is no time more capable for change than now.